go into another mortgage with a higher rate. And so, the average rate is about 7%. And going from 3 to 7 in such a short period of time, it's really a shock. And I know, back in the 80s, maybe early 90s, rates were much, much higher, right? Like 12% or 13%. And so, you know, but I think in the last 20 years, people have seen really low rates, going from 2% to 5%, up to 6%, but no more than that. And so going to 7%, it's a shocker. And so it's really hard to deal with that, and also the higher prices of homes. But I do think that when we have issues like this, also there's also opportunities that come up, right? We just have to be willing to look at it from a different perspective and find a way to buy a house, because ultimately, I think buying a house, it provides a roof over your head, and obviously it's an investment that over the long term, history has proven that it's stable and it will make you money, over the long term.
And that's a good point. So let's say I'm 22 years old.
Mhm.
I'm living in an apartment paying probably 2,000 a month nowadays, right?
Right?
And I don't know if that includes utilities or not. I haven't been in the apartment life for a while. Uh, this is where you get into the fact that say, okay, maybe you don't want to buy a $400,000 home, maybe a $150,000 home. I think it's a lot of the thinking process.
Absolutely.
Yes, who wouldn't want to have a four or $500,000 home? But be real, okay? At 7%, you're gonna have to, and it's an increase of almost 900 a month.
Mhm.
So you're gonna have to go down to say 200,000, or I mean, there are houses out there for 200,000. Now you might have to fix them up, but it's kind of fun.
Oh yes,
You
I
know,
love that. I
you
love that. I
know,
enjoy the transformation.
you take something and you make it your own.
Absolutely.
So it's a lot of the thought process of saying, are we at the end of the world? No. Are you at the end of the world of saying, expecting what it is? Things always change. You're always going to have change. It doesn't matter what you are, who you are. There's going to be changes. What you do for the change, like Caesar saying, 50% drop. That's a lot, folks.
It's a lot.
But I don't see him panicking.
Because he knows the history of it. Yeah.
He knows the market will adjust. He's got that experience that you go in there and say, okay, guys, we're hitting a bump, but now we got to be smarter. Sonia got affected by the COVID. I got affected by the COVID. Now mine was different. I'm in technology, so we said, "What COVID?" I mean, everybody started moving home and all that, so our computer sales and technology sales went up uh, significantly. So a lot of things is in nowadays you got to adjust to whatever you need to. Maybe you have to look at different markets, you have to different things, but you can't just sit there and go, I wonder what's going to happen.
Right.
Now, I know my fellow guests here, they're not the type they're going to sit there. So,
No.
what are you doing now in mortgage, and now you've got experience in real estate? What are you doing to the people you know? I mean, when they come to you for, I'm paying $2,000 a month in an apartment. I mean,
Go. You answer that question then.
So, obviously affordability is an issue right now. As you said, you have to think about it differently. You have to go about it differently. And so what I tell people trying to buy a house is don't go and buy a huge house, right? Lower your expectations. I can tell you from personal experience, if I had to start all over again, here's what I would do, okay? And please write it down because this is super, super, super important.
right.
Buy a small house in a good neighborhood, the ugliest house in the neighborhood, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, okay? That's it. Get a loan to improve that property. Okay. If you cannot afford the rent, get a roommate. Chances are somebody else is paying already $1,000 a month somewhere else. Okay. And they don't have a backyard. So live in that house for a year. After that, put the house for rent, and move into a bigger house. By then, you surely have enough money for a 3% or 5% down payment. Again, right? Then you can buy a duplex later on, right? You can live in one and then buy and then rent the other one. By now, you already have 4 properties, right? In like 3 years, right? And then you can go buy your dream house, right? 5 years. I mean,
That's what we're talking about. You can panic, you can go hide in the sand,
absolutely.
but folks, we gotta make it.
There's always,
Yes.
there's always
a
something to be
way.
excited about, right? Let's
Right.
focus on the opportunities.
Right.
All right.
Now, we can blame the government for it, but we know
Sure.
the government can tell businesses what to do.
Absolutely.
And we gotta be real, say, well, the government should do something. Well, the government cannot go into our company and say, you are now going to do this. So
Absolutely.
what do? You gotta realize what the real world is and find out solutions just like that. Do you really need to have 4,000 square feet?
Absolutely not. Yeah.
When maybe you can afford 1,800 square feet. If that's what you can afford, do it. But do it. I mean, buy the
Absolutely.
property.
We can't wait for the perfect time.
No.
It does not exist. It exists in our mind, but in reality, you have to act now. Go buy what you can afford. If you can't afford it, then look for a way. I'm a professional, and this is what I do. And so my job is to educate people. Okay, let's see where you stand right now. And here are the things that you need to do in order to get from point A to point B, right? If it's going to take, some people will take 3 months, some people will take 6 months, but you have to be working on your plan. And so it doesn't matter what the rates are. It doesn't matter what the value are. What matters is what are you doing to get there, right? And so it can be a small house and then eventually a bigger house. And then you're also building the wealth. And so, what I've learned is, if it's for me, it's up to me, right? And so you have to be active and go get it. There are plenty of people, plenty of professionals who are able to help you. All we have to do is raise our hand, reach out and say, how do I do this? How do I do this? And people will help you.
And the thing is that don't sit out and just be looking out the window. Be proactive. You gotta do something, and don't panic yourself. I listen to the news at night. I quit listening to the news at night because I'm like, oh my God, when I'm like, okay, that's that world, but in my world, I gotta make it go.
Sure.
I gotta get up in the morning. I gotta make enough money to pay bills and have money and all this. And but the thing I did enjoy was that the people that fix houses, construction people like that, they were booming. I mean, new roofs, I could just see the work. So I'm like, okay, look at this. You can panic or you can open your eyes and see where things are going. We ourselves, we've already changed carpets. We fixed up our house, because we're like, oh, we're here at home working. I'm like, oh, look at this. So the thing about it is, be smart, and things are going to change. Environments are going to change. Listen to people like Caesar and Sonia and Angel and all that. Angel has the dream of the radio station because he likes getting the word out. He's happy when people are learning things.
Yes.
When people are growing things and making themselves out. And of course, he loves the Dallas Cowboys. But you can either panic, you can go off the track, but in reality, follow the people that are smart. I mean, you look at things. If I have a thing, if I'm worried about saying, okay, what's going to happen? I'll call Caesar and I say, Caesar, look, I got this $10 million home. What should I?
Tell me more about it.
Caesar goes, But talk to people you trust and you like, because really that's what we do business with. If I like you and I trust you, I'm gonna do business with you.
Absolutely.
If I don't like you and I don't trust you, guess what? Adios.
I totally agree with you, and I think I would add that you have to add value to whoever you're helping, right? So in my case, what I do is I look for a way to help people make money. Okay, help them get to where they need to be, and make a difference. And so when I share with you how simple it is to get there, however, most people are not doing it, right? Why is that? It's because we get bombarded with all this information on social media about how to make a lot of money right now. Oh my God, take my course, take my class, sign up for this, and you'll make $1 million in a year, right? Certainly that can happen, right? But it's one out of a million, right? And so, right. The truth is, there's no secret, right? You just have to get up every morning, have a plan, okay, look at your basics, have the discipline, and just go for it, right? It's the little steps that add up little by little. And so you have to have a plan based on reality, based on things that are, based on your situation. Everybody's different, and so your goal should be based on what you can reasonably accomplish, and be guided by the professionals and the people that can help you get there. No one can do anything alone, right? You need a team to get there, and so that's really what I would tell people. That's what I would do if I would start all over again, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree with that, and I think it has a lot to do where like me, I feel like when you talk about that, I mean, I feel so that I can relate to what you're saying, because
Right.
that's what I did. And yes, when I bought my house, I also had a high interest rate. When I paid the house off, I said, okay, well, I'm gonna buy another house. And it was actually Norma, the girl that worked. I don't know if she still works with you,
Yes.
but he was actually the one that approved me for a loan. And when they called me to let me know, hey, you're approved. And then she calls me, she's like, oh my God, how excited. It must be exciting to go see $500,000 house, because that was kind of how much we got around that. And instead of us going and buying a $500,000 house, we went and bought a distressed property that cost us, it was listed like for 275, and we made an offer for 225. They accept the offer,
Yeah.
and we did the exact same thing. We, instead of spending, we just bought a house, half of what we were approving, and we bought the house and we flip it, and we did everything we wanted in the house. And doing that is, like you said, that's what it's allowing us to build wealth, because my debt is not, and then I have room to go buy more properties. And that's how we grow wealth. And anybody can do it, because, like he said, he's done it. I've done it. I'm doing it. And I know a lot of people that it's way ahead of me. And I get so excited when I see people doing this kind of business, because it is possible. Everything it's out there. And like you said, even if the market it's not where we want it to be right now, the opportunity is out there. And we have the options to go find the money. Back in 2008, 2009. My husband did not have anything. I mean, construction was not, he was at home, used to, and I had to go find my 3 jobs in order to pay my bills, because we had a baby, we had 2 new car payments, and we had a new house. So 2009 was rough for me, but there's always a way. Always. There's, if you look for the opportunities, you'll find it. There's just no way that you cannot make it. So waiting for the right opportunity, no, that's wrong. Just gotta take action. Take action.
Well, there's a hustler there for you, right? That's the attitude that you gotta have.
That's a good point. You gotta be around people like them. They've gone through the hard times, but it didn't stop. They just changed the plan, their business plan. They just said, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Okay? But like Caesar said, you gotta have a plan. Even in business, if you don't have a plan, it's like driving at night without headlights. You're gonna hit something, and it might not be something you want to hit, So
No humans do anything but humans.
the thing about it is, you look at right now, you look at the environment right now, business, economy, and all that, and you're like, oh God, what do I do? So what does the chamber do? We say, okay, we're going to partner with the government, and we're going to start all together. We're building a giant group. We're going to start 100,000 new businesses. Okay, 100,000 new businesses are going to create a lot of jobs. Now, here's the point. Those business owners, we're going to teach them. We're going to help them be successful. We want them to buy houses.
Right.
We want them to save money. We need to get this group of people, and build them up, because right now, Latinos have to double their income.
That's right.
They
Preacher,
have
preacher.
to double your income.
Opportunities out there.
And we're not gonna do it unless we quit trying to break ourselves up into little groups and you lose the power and voice. We're gonna have one big group. One big group. So we work together here by getting the best leaders, because we're going to change the economy ourselves. We're not gonna give up. We're not gonna throw the towel in. We're gonna come up with a solution, a plan that's gonna change things. Now just think about it. 100,000 new businesses, if they're making over 1 million to 10 million a month, and we're telling them, I don't want to see you renting. You better be buying property.
Mhm.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Now, what happens? We got to go with members that they can trust and like and say, look, go here. You don't need to go anywhere else. Okay? This is what we're doing, because success doesn't just happen. Success is planned. You got to be with a group of people that think like you, that want to get there like you, and they're not afraid to say, I don't know everything.
Right.
But can you help me? So we learn now we partner with the SBA, with the SCORE, which is part of SBA. We're dealing with the state of Texas, with Texas Workforce. There's companies that we're going to start, and it's called Startup and Build. We're going to have 100,000 new businesses open up.
Wow.
With good business plans. If you don't have a business plan, there goes the time. The time is up. You gotta do it now. Gloria just keeps the time in. With perfect timing, right?
The universe.
But the thing about it is,
That's a sign.
Yep.
you can't do it alone.
You cannot do it alone.
You cannot, but we've learned that, right?
Yes, I agree.
You try to do it by yourself, you're probably gonna make some mistakes. Go around people that are like you, that are smart, that are likable, and you trust them, and you will succeed.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of people that can relate to Sonia and myself, right? Who are immigrants or kids from immigrants who came here and want to start something, but they just don't know what's the first step. How do I do it? I got 2 jobs to make ends meet. I've got kids. I've got this. I got that. So it seems like it's impossible to break through and make something happen. So what I would say to them is go to the right people, educate ourselves, and take some risks, right? When I say risks, I mean managed risks, right? You go to the people who know how to do things and have a plan and get started. I mean, I've seen people who have a job, right? And they can't make any more money or save money to buy a house or start a business. I know this lady, she says, you know what I had to do? I had to go pick up the pallets at companies, right? And then resell them and just find a way to make it. She says, I'm making, $600 extra a month, and it doesn't take a whole lot, but she's thinking outside the box, right? And that's what we need. We can't just sit here and wait for things to happen. You got to go out there and make it happen.
Yep.
And you've got to have this spirit, folks.
Sure.
You've got to have this. The people that give up, you're in trouble.
Right.
That's the last thing.
Yeah.
Not
In
give-
our group, we don't give up. We're gonna come up with a solution. We're gonna come at it together, because there is a lot of money out there. You know how much grant money we have, and Latinos don't show up?
Right.
And I'm like, what is wrong with this picture?
Right.
So we're gonna say, you know what? Here's the money. Here's how you apply for it. Go get it.
That's right.
Okay? We're not gonna let you just. No. You're gonna do it right here in front of us. We as a Chamber of Commerce, we don't make money on it. Our success is your success.
Yep.
I mean, that's all we do. So anyway, it's 2:00. I want to thank Sonia, my co-host, who's every Monday she just blossoming into a winter. It's like every Monday I'm like, and she knows I text her. So yeah, we need to look. Okay, but she never says no or I am. She was like, okay. I'm like, boom, we're done. And Caesar, thank you because I know you. You're someone that I know we trust and we have confidence in you because you are that type of person. But thank you for being here.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I mean, it's great that I can share something, a little bit of what I know, right? And it's a little
A lot. So with that being said,
Man.
don't wait. Take action. Reach out to this man. You never know.
No,
Yes.
just go with the people you trust and you like because that is what's going to make a difference. Make a plan. I know it sounds tough. Make a plan where you're going because you can get somebody to say, "Am I going the right way or not?" You know. But anyway, thank you.
One more. If they have
One more.
questions regarding a loan or anything, where can they reach out to you? What's your
They can just give me a call or send me a text message.
What's your number?
It's 214-293-9383. And I'm also on Instagram. So just look for me on Instagram. It's the Mortgage Banker.
Okay, so we're gonna do it right. You're gonna say the number one more time, and our CEO is gonna repeat it. Okay. What's the number?
It's 214-293-9383.
9383.
And you, okay. Okay. Listen, you got it from the CEO. Don't mess around. You don't mess around with the CEO. Okay. Thank you, everybody. And now some music, and we're switching to Espanol. We got Joel. Joel. You know Caesar?
Good, how are you?
Estamos amigos.
How are you, buddy?
Apaga la cámara.
Okay.
¿Ya?
¿Cómo le va?
Una foto con antes de que vamos.
Okay, Joel, good. You got your seat.